So hello. So it's Wednesday, which means Wellbeing Wednesday for me in my world. And hopefully you've also given some consideration to your well-being. And if you haven't, well, here's a nice reminder. This is, I'm excited because in less than an hour, I'm doing my last masterclass for 2020. And the theme that we're going to take a look at is Santé. Now, you may know what that means. Santé means health in French. It doesn't necessarily mean good or poor health. There's a choice right there. And before choice, we need to have awareness. So we're going to take a look at where are we currently at in terms of 4 different dimensions of our well-being. But most importantly, we're going to do this through a lens of curiosity, connection, and celebration. So why celebration? Well, it's been a long year. And I'm sure you'll agree that celebration is important. And yes, we often celebrate the big things, like many of us will be celebrating perhaps Christmas and being able to get together. But really, one of the things I've learnt, one of the inner resources that have emerged for me through this year has been the need, the necessity, that's the word I was looking for finding celebratory moments. So simple pleasures in life and how they can give us pleasure. So this video is really just to share with you some of what I'm going to be sharing at the masterclass, and partly because I'm so excited about it that I kind of know that I'm going to repeat it. So if you happen to watch this and you did not attend the masterclass and you're interested in taking a look at how to bring in more curiosity, more connection, more celebration into your life. And if you're intrigued too by the effervescence and the magical nature of the champagne making process, but as a metaphor for well-being, and you'd like to explore more of that, just maybe write the word Santé in the comments so that I know that you're interested. And then I think in January, it may be a good time to bring in a little bit more of this joie de vivre, right? The sparkle, because goodness knows I've needed to work hard at bringing it in. And Tal Ben-Shahar is one of the experts that I highly esteem in the field of positive psychology, speaks about these different character traits that we have access to, that we can cultivate. That's the good news. I don't always wake up feeling on top of the world, and there's something about realistic optimism that I find quite comforting, knowing that I can cultivate it. So yes, there's a place for duvet days or days where you feel blue. I mean, I really love the work of Thomas Moore, and Dark Nights of the Soul remains one of my favorite books. But we don't want to make ourselves at home always in the dark places. We want to be able to emerge and look for aspects of life that can add value and lightness, especially when we have so much of the opposite around us, the heaviness, the confusion, the uncertainty, the stress. So there are many of these character traits and constructs that we can cultivate. And I'm going to take a look at 6 in the masterclass this afternoon. So we're going to explore how we've experienced through 2020 and how we currently can bring in more of gratitude, which is a form of celebration, curiosity, wonder, creativity, compassion, and hope. And what one exercise we're going to do that you could perhaps reflect on is taking 2 or 3 minutes, finding a piece of paper and a pen, put a column down the center, and on the left-hand side, write down inner resources, and on the right-hand side, write down outer resources. And then think through the year 2020, and from this journey, what has emerged for you in terms of your inner resources? So I've discovered, and positive or not positive, I've discovered a lot about myself that I'm not pleased about, or that I thought I had managed to deal with, or parts of my shadow that came out. And so we worked and grappled and did some stuff together again. And there were other things, my desire for different types of connection, my love of nature, my actual love of solitude and my own company. And then outer resources could be all kinds of things. What emerged for you around events or people or situations, or things that you desire or would like more of? Once again, there's no judgment here. It doesn't have to be positive or negative. And then from that list is to choose 3 that you would like to bring into 2021. And why do I say 3? Well, this is where the fun of champagne comes in. So predominantly champagne is made with 3 grapes: Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier. And Chardonnay is what we call a constant type of grape. It has a longevity, long life. So actually, I go into a bit too much detail. We're going to go into this kind of detail in the masterclass, where we're going to reflect on what is a characteristic of ourselves that we find is quite predictable, quite reliable, that is long lasting, that can serve us. But what you could do is just find 3 attributes or talents or skills that are positive, that you'd like, that you emerged, that you discovered, that emerged for you in 2020, that you'd like to bring into 2021. And then, because these are quite esoteric type concepts, like curiosity, I mean, it sounds good, but how will you actually put it into practice? So come January or February, when you're feeling a bit down, or when you're compromising or sabotaging your well-being, or when you're having a bad day or a bad week, how could you use or cultivate curiosity in a practical sense? For me, it could mean waking up and in the morning listening to something that's upbuilding or something that I want to learn about. It could be asking questions. Can you see what I mean? So take the 3 values, the 3 attributes, those 3 grapes, and then squeeze them and get the juice from them. What kind of juice, what kind of actions are you going to actually put into your life to help you with that? And then part of making champagne, and if you want to know why I'm speaking about champagne, feel free to join the masterclass or follow me and I'll explain. My family are from Champagne and I like champagne a lot. And there's a process in the champagne making journey called la prise de mousse. So it's the capturing of the sparkle, which happens inside the bottle, the second fermentation. And for that to happen, something has to be added. A tirage, a liqueur de tirage has to be added into the wine that has fermented and then left in the dark to rest. And then you get the magic that happens with the carbon dioxide and the yeasts and the sugars. And then the sparkle is created inside the bottle. So my question then to you is, in order to change, we can't keep doing what we've always done, right? That's the definition of going crazy or insanity, I think, according to Einstein. Doing the same thing over and over, but expecting different results. So if you want different results in 2021 in different areas of your well-being, your spirituality, your sense of purpose and connection and meaning, your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, your physical well-being, we need to do things differently. So in order to do that, things have to shift and change. So how will you use la prise de mousse, the concept of capturing the sparkle, to help you to stay sparkly, effervescent, vibrant, at your best? And to do that, you need to put something in, just like the liqueur de tirage. You have to put in something. So what do you want more of? What do you want more of in those different dimensions of your life? And sometimes you need to let something go. So after the capturing of the sparkle, when the caps are released and then the corks are put in so that the bottle can eventually arrive on the shelf for you to purchase and pop open and enjoy, some of the wine is lost. What do you need to surrender and let go of? What do you need less of? Sure, now in these 8.5 minutes, I can feel the depth of what I've just shared. So even if you just take one of the exercises, I've gone through 3 with you, and reflect on them for a couple of minutes, perhaps something will emerge and percolate and come up like a little bit of a champagne bubble and help you have some insight into how you can sustain more effervescence, feel a little bit more fizzy and sparkly than flat. And knowing that this is a journey, it's not a destination. We never get there, right? Let's make it magical. Let's not live in a space of duality where it has to be a good day or a bad day, that we can honor both because it's part of a long process. You know that champagne is a non-vintage for a minimum has to rest for 15 months. So if you want to create change or create something beautiful, it can take 15 months. It can also take years. Or, as I'm realizing, over 4 decades. So if you'd like to know more about this topic and go into the journey of the magic and alchemy of the champagne making process, or if you'd like me to redo the masterclass that I'm going to be doing later if you're not one of the attendees, I will post the link in case you happen to see this and you have nothing planned for the next hour and a half, because at 4 o'clock UK time, and you're most welcome up until 5 to 4. There's no restriction on numbers. And if not, I'm happy to run the masterclass again, where we can all learn from each other, because the collective wisdom is very powerful. Until then, Santé!